Okay. Great. Hello, everyone. I am Honor Garrett, and this is day 4 of the Honor It All Wellness Workshop. Today, we are talking all about lifestyle choices. What are the choices that you're making, and how is it affecting your life? And are there some toxic consequences that you might not even know about, that you may not even realize? So, we're going to talk about that today. And yesterday, it was all about movement and meditation. I wanted you guys for your homework to go and figure out something that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be the treadmill, it doesn't have to be running, it could be yoga, it could be dancing, it could be anything. But I challenged you to pick an exercise and do it. And then also try out meditation. Try out meditation and see what it's like, and journal about it. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And we're going to go ahead and start today about lifestyle choices. And how are you living? Only you know if you're living a healthy lifestyle. But today I can show you some things that you might not have realized that could be affecting why you're not losing weight or why you're stuck in certain areas. So I'm going to share my screen really quickly, and we're going to start with the presentation. So here we go. Here we go, lifestyle choices. So what you're doing with whatever choices you're making in life, you know what's good or bad, but there are some toxins that may be in your life. And what are those? And actually, what are toxins? Well, first of all, the lifestyle choices that you need to be asking, the questions you need to be asking yourself are: what are you thinking? What are you ingesting? Who are your friends? What are you buying? Where do you live? And how do you spend your time? Those are key questions to ask yourself, because those are going to help you figure out whether or not there are some toxic things in your life. Because all of our lifestyle choices directly affect our health. And when it comes to toxins, we need to be educated. What are toxins? Toxins are the harmful chemicals, substances, and byproducts that inhibit and derail our body systems and our health. And why do we want to learn about toxins? Well, it might be the fact that you're trying to lose weight, and whatever it is, you're like, Honor, I'm doing everything right. I'm eating so clean. Everything in my diet is good. I'm going on walks. I'm getting exercise. I'm drinking lots of water. Why can't I lose weight? Well, it could be that you're toxic. And toxins not only cause inflammation, but they're the root cause of disease. So we need to be intentional. We need to really dig deep and see where in our life that we might be able to make some changes. And we want to be preventative. We want to be preventative. And once we get the education, we know we can avoid certain things and really just take 100% responsibility for the choices we make. No one, your doctor is not going to hold your hand and tell you what you can and can't do. And a lot of times they're not even aware of some of the things that are in the products that you're using and the things that you're choosing to do. So, what can be toxic? We always think of toxic as being maybe the household products that we're using, maybe the pesticides or the things that we're putting on our lawn. But honestly, your food can be toxic. Toxic. The um, any of the processed, refined foods, those are going to be toxic to your body. Medications, medications do not cure, do not get to the root cause of anything. All they do is they mask the root cause, and they mask and cover up and help alleviate symptoms. But symptoms are your body's way of telling you, hey, man, there's something wrong. Let's do something about this. Let's investigate further so you can get healthy. So I would really encourage people, if you don't have to take a medication, don't do it. Obviously, products are toxic. It could be toxicity in your household products, your shampoo, your cosmetics. Obviously, there's environmental toxins, and even just the EMF and things from all the technology that we have. Relationships can be toxic. How are your relationships? How are the people that you're spending time with? Are they encouraging and uplifting, or are they bringing you down? And then obviously our mindset. How many of you have negative thoughts in your head every day, or things you feel inadequate, or you're just tired and you have this shame and blame and guilt, whether it's on yourself or on other people, or other people putting that on you. So I would love for you to write in the chat, are any of these toxic things in your life? And be honest, because if I'm honest, there's a little bit of all of them in my life. And I do the best to minimize it. And that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. So, what are the toxic consequences? What happens when you have all this toxicity in your life? Well, number one, it damages your organs and the systems in your body. That's your digestive tract, your liver, your kidneys. Guys, your microbiome in your stomach, that is your second brain. That is where all of your immune system really resides, is in your gut. And if it's damaging those organs, it's only going to get worse. And that's where disease starts to creep in. It can damage your DNA, which actually increases and rapidly increases your aging process. So we don't want that at all, right? It can poison your enzymes. Now, every physiological function in your body depends on enzymes to manufacture molecules, to produce energy, and to create cell structure. So it's really, enzymes are so fundamental in your health. We do not want to poison those enzymes. Also, it can damage your cell membranes. What that does is it prevents important signaling. So each cell has like villi, and they're like little receptors, and they help with signaling and messaging to other cells and things in your body. So you need that to work. And when it doesn't work, things like insulin resistance and all these things can add up because the cell membranes have been damaged. Also, it can modify gene expression. Now, what that is saying is a lot of you will go around going, oh yes, I have the gene that makes me predisposed to breast cancer, or I have the gene for diabetes, or I have the gene for this or that. But I want to tell you, just because you have the gene does not mean you are destined to get that illness or that condition. Only if you don't take care of yourself. So you can, that gene might be switched on if you're not taking care of yourself, but you can switch that gene off so it's not active, so it doesn't manifest in your body as disease. You have so much more control than you realize. And then also, it's a hormone disruptor. So hormones really regulate almost everything in our bodies. And so if it is being disrupted and these toxins are disrupting our hormones, it causes all sorts of imbalances. For instance, arsenic disrupts the thyroid hormone receptors, which blocks signaling to rev up your metabolism. So if your metabolism is slow and sluggish, you're going to be fatigued. So how do you know if you have any toxins? I'm going to show you a list of how you know you may be toxic because of these symptoms. But I also want you to know that that doesn't mean that you are necessarily toxic, but it could. If you are experiencing brain fog or constipation, low energy, circles under your eyes, unusual body odor, rashes, the list goes on, headaches, bloating, gas, sleep problems, food cravings, food allergies, you could have toxicity in your body. And so pay attention to that and see if I want to know in the chat, look at this list for a second. And are any of these conditions anything that you struggle with? they seem very common for a lot of people. Oops. So here are some conditions that are actually associated with toxicity: Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, autism, depression, insomnia, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, cancers, food allergies, arthritis, digestive issues. All of these can be linked to toxicity. And it's not saying you must be toxic, but this is the first thing that you can take care of yourself to limit. Now, what are some things that make us toxic? Heavy metals. And you're like, well, how would I have heavy metals? Well, mercury from fillings, guys, lead, cadmium. Now, if you have mercury fillings, I want to tell you that if you ever want to have those mercury fillings taken out, do it with a dentist that knows what they're doing, because there have been instances where people get those removed and the shavings and the dust particles of the mercury go right into their system and they end up getting really sick. So you want to be very careful about that, because heavy metals can cause organ failure. And also asbestos, I think might be no, that's a different one. That's radon, formaldehyde, benzone, and asbestos. All of these are toxic chemicals or gases that can cause cancer. You can find them in old housing, in old flooring, all of those things. So those things you don't want to mess around with. Then there's pesticides and BPA. Pesticides and BPAs, they're endocrine disruptors, which, like I mentioned earlier, they will hurt your hormone signaling. They will alter it. It could lead to infertility, obesity, aggressive behavior, prostate and breast cancer, low testosterone. Men, if you don't want a low sperm count, make sure you're not drinking out of plastic bottles. Watch the detergents that you're using, flame retardants, Roundup to kill weeds. All of those things can cause these conditions. Mold. Mold is a big one. And we all know what mold is, and some people are more sensitive than others. But if you're sensitive to mold and it actually gets into your system and into your body, it can take years to eradicate it. And you can feel really sick and everything in your body aches. It is a really serious condition. And then, of course, SAD, I call it SAD because the standard American diet is very sad because it is filled with refined and processed foods. Refined and processed foods, they have so many chemicals. There are pesticides that they were sprayed with, and then everything is refined. And so our body doesn't know how to properly digest it, filter it, and that just causes so much load and stress on our organs. So we really need to pay attention to our diets, like we've mentioned this whole week. And then medications. Medications, like I said, they only treat the symptom. They're not getting to the root cause. So one of the biggest dangers of medications, even though they will mask symptoms and help you with symptoms, they don't help you get to the root cause. And then they more than often cause other conditions in your body that are even worse. So if you ever listen to one of those drug company commercials, when they talk about a drug and then they give you all the possible side effects, it's kind of scary. And then also internal. We can have a lot of internal toxicity if we have a lot of bad bacteria in our microbiome. So it's really good. We want good bacteria in our gut, but we want to minimize the bad bacteria, the fungus, the yeast overgrowth. And based on our foods, the bad bacteria, they feed on sugar. They feed on the bad refined wheat products and all the things that we shouldn't be eating. So when we eat that, we're we're giving our bad bacteria food and we're starving our good bacteria. So that's another thing to consider. And then metabolic toxins. We actually produce our own toxins in our body when we exercise. We create byproducts, but that's okay because that's why we sweat and we have ways to eliminate it. So, like I said, the good news about all of this is that our bodies are amazing detoxifiers. We have our colon, our large intestine is like a self-cleaning oven. And the nutrients in the small eliminates waste. Nutrients we absorb in the small intestines, but then we eliminate waste in our large intestines. And then we have the liver, which cleans up everything, everything that you put on your skin or that you eat or that you inhale. It when it anything that goes into your bloodstream must filter through your liver. So as that is why it's really good to do a liver cleanse every now and then, because the toxic overload of the foods we're eating and the products in our environment and things that are affecting our liver can sometimes be overload. So sometimes we want to give our liver, gosh, just a break and cleanse it and help it regenerate and get better, and then and really work more efficiently. And then when our kidneys, they filter our blood as well as produce urine, which flushes out waste. And of course, we have our skin. So we have great mechanisms to eliminate toxins in our body. But that's why it's so important that we feed our body, give it the right nutrients so it can filter and eliminate waste and toxins efficiently. But if we're overloading it, it's going to break down. It's just going to. So, so in order for our bodies to detoxify, we need to make sure that you're eating all the right stuff because it's all connected, guys. If we continue to consume refined oils, trans fats, sugars, colorants, artificial sweeteners, and additives and processed foods, we are only starving our organs and starving the cells of the nutrients it needs to stay strong and do its job. And we're creating an environment of inflammation. And we know that inflammation, what is the first step to disease? So how can we lessen the effects in our body? Well, here's some things that you can do and be proactive or be preventative is avoid the toxins you just already know about, right? You know things that aren't good for you. Eat a clean diet, exercise to help eliminate excess toxins, meditate, relax, distress. We want to get into the parasympathetic nervous system. That's when you meditate. That's the rest and digest. It's when you're sleeping too. But when we are all stressed out, that is the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight and flight, and our cortisol levels go up, and we all of our organs kind of shut down, so we have the energy just to get through the day, and that is not where we want to be because we burn out our adrenal glands and we end up really getting sick. We also could heal our liver. Like I said, a liver cleanse is a great idea. Drink lots of water. There's so many different kinds of water. And that could be an entirely other webinar about water. But if you're not really sure, just drink some natural spring water. You can't go wrong there. We want to eliminate properly, or I could just say poop, right? We want to be eliminating, we want to be having BMs 2 to 3 times a day. And for some of you, I know, because I struggled for years, sometimes not going at all. Magnesium is a great way to relax muscles, and that means it also relaxes the muscles in your intestines. It can help you naturally go to the bathroom. Minimize drugs and alcohol. They only break down your organs, and it is terrible and very detrimental to your brain. And one of the things you want to keep healthy for as long as possible is your brain. Sweat, that's great. And then supplements. Supplements are really important because the soil that we have now, the vegetables, fruits and vegetables that we have are not grown in nutrient dense soil anymore. The nitrogen that it needs is not there because they over crop, do these crops, and they don't let the soil rest where you're supposed to let soil rest for 7 years. But our society just is over consumption and over delivering, and it's now all of our food has so much less nutrients in it. So taking supplements is a good thing, but you need to make sure that you find a company that has high quality products, that's all natural, that doesn't have any additives. And if I'm not promoting anything, but if you're curious about what I use, I'm happy to let you know, because I think I've done my research and it really matters. So um, are you going to eliminate the toxins and all the toxins in your life? Of course not, right? But and should you be scared? No. Um, it's all about awareness, guys. And the more you learn, the more you educate yourself, it's going to be easier. And here are some all natural detoxifying herbs that you can use. Cilantro, it is amazing. It eliminates heavy metals from your body. So if you find out, is I actually had some high levels of mercury, but it was because I eat so much fish. And cilantro is great at just kind of chelating and getting those toxins out. Ginger is loaded with antioxidants. It prevents stress and damage to your body's. It prevents the damage to your body's DNA. Studies show that it actually might fight off chronic diseases, high blood pressure, heart disease, and diseases of the lungs. Whoops. Oh, sorry about that. And then turmeric. Is it turmeric or turmeric? I don't know. Everybody says tomato. That is a powerful anti-inflammatory. It helps with bowel productions, your bowel production, and studies show that it may even be useful in preventing and treating cancer and Alzheimer's disease. Milk thistle stimulates detox pathways for your liver, and dandelion stimulates liver and gallbladder detox. Red clover is great at fixing the nitrogen in soil. So that hopefully is, if you go to a local farmer and you go to farmers markets, which is where you should be buying your produce anyway, hopefully they add red clover to their soil to help with nitrogen. It's also great for skin health and improving circulation, and for women with menopause symptoms. Burdock is a support for healthy kidneys and your skin, and nettle is great for joint and skin health. So these are just a few, and you're like, well, where am I going to get these herbs, and how much do I use, and whatever? Just experiment. A lot of these ingredients you can find in herbal teas, so you can enjoy hot tea at night, which is what I do. And some of these I just add turmeric to a lot of my dishes and things like that. So and in cooking you can add and just get really just get creative. So like I said, this is all about awareness. We want to start listening to our bodies and get curious, especially if you have symptoms. The foundation of optimal health is mind your mind, slow down and be present and be grateful, and take 100% responsibility for your choices. Because the most important thing you will ever do in your life, guys, is make decisions. Knowledge is power, and now you have a choice to respond in order to get the results you are seeking. If you're feeling anxious, just take a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Life will always come at us with circumstances, information, and situations we have little or no control over, but we are 100% responsible for the choices we make. So we have a choice. we can decide that life is happening to you or life is happening for you. You get to decide. You get to decide. Like I said, the most important thing you will ever do in your life is make decisions. It doesn't sound sexy, but it is powerful. Every decision you make, it can get you one step closer to what you want. It's your decision. Change is the only way we're going to grow, and growth is the only way we get better. So when I help my clients, I want to help them shift from seeing challenges as problems, to seeing every challenge as a gift. The gift is the awareness to know that this is an area I need to work on and grow in. Most people come to me initially to lose weight, but then they soon realize that there's so much more. There's so much more. So if you are feeling lousy and lethargic, and you're stressed out, and you're confused and frustrated by weight gain, and you're ready to reverse the damage that the stress has caused on you, poor lifestyle choices, just being your mindset, all of that. If you're ready for that and you want to heal your mind, body, and spirit, you want to feel strong and fit again, you want to feel sexy in that little black dress, or feel amazing in your favorite pair of jeans. Isn't it great when you can fit in those jeans that you just love and they're so comfortable? You want to feel invincible at work, and you're ready for peace, calm, and serenity. Let's make a plan. Let's make a plan, because everything is connected. I really coach the whole person. I address every area that affects your well-being and ability to thrive. That is why my health coaching quickly evolved into life coaching and beyond, because I want to help people in every area, their physical, mental, spiritual, relationship, career, all of it, all of that health. Because how we do one thing in life is really how we do everything. And I get so excited with my clients, because I get so excited when I see they have these aha moments, because they learned something that they never knew before, or they knew it, they had just never looked at it in that way. It's so priceless. So if you want to know more about what I do, I invite you to check out my website and sign up for a free discovery call. There's nothing to lose, only to gain, because really I'm going to give you 45 minutes of my individual time to help you map out a plan, a strategy, to see if even life coaching is something that works for you, or is aligned with what you're looking for. Because my goal is to take you from surviving to thriving. And the way I do that, I use a lot of different modalities. I use what's best and I customize it for everyone. Here are some things that I'm educated in: transformational coaching, sequencing, NLP, mental rehearsal, guided meditation, energy work, EFT. I'm also a Reiki master, healer certified, and hypnotherapy. So those are just a few things that I do. And I ask a lot of questions first, because I want to get to exactly where you are, meet you where you are, help you get where you want to go, hold you accountable, be the biggest motivator and inspiring mentor you could have, to help you get the results that are not temporary, that are lasting. Because let's face it, guys, we all know what to do. And we usually, with willpower, can sustain it for a small temporary amount of time. But we want to change. We want to grow into the better person, the vision that we put out there at the beginning of this week, of where we want to go. And we want that to be lasting. We don't want to go backwards. So if you are wondering what the difference is between what is a life coach and what's a therapist, therapists usually examine your past traumas. They help you fix some of the problem by revisiting the past, and they could sometimes work with you for years and years just to help you navigate your present condition in life, right? Positively. The reason that I love life coaching, and therapists are great. So if you have one and you like your therapist, that's wonderful. And if it's working for you and it's aligned with your goals, absolutely, that's a wonderful choice. But the reason why I get so excited about life coaching is because I can take into account your past, but I don't necessarily have to know every single thing that happened, um, to not and still be able to change that mindset or those limiting beliefs or those neural pathways in your subconscious. We can rewire those and create focus on creating the future and the vision that you want. And we develop an ideal life plan by identifying your strengths to help you go exactly where you want to go within months, not years. That's what's so exciting is I don't want clients for years and years. I want them to get results fast so their life is changed as quickly as possible, but I wanted to make sure that it lasts. So here's a little bit about me because I didn't share this at the beginning of the week. I couldn't get my slides to work. But I'm a certified life coach. I'm married 28 years to John Garrett. He's a football coach. He's the head football coach at Lafayette College right now. We've been in the NFL and college. We have 4 children. They're all grown. Our youngest is in college. The other 3 have graduated. We've moved 13 times in 26 years. I started out of school as a sports reporter. So I have that creative side, interior decorator, and now I'm doing coaching because this is exactly, health has always been a huge aspect of my life. And we've been in sports. And so just the well-being of your body and your mind has always been important to me. I love hot yoga, tennis, walking, mindset work. And this is my beautiful family. My husband and I, our 4 children, our dog, Judy, and we also have another dog, Tucker, that we got during COVID. Of course, everyone got a COVID dog, puppy. And this is my husband jumping for joy because we beat Lehigh University, our biggest rivals. And that is after the game, right when we won. So that's a little bit about me. If you want to get in contact with me, you can just scan this QR code. That will give you all the things about me, all my social media, my website, everything. Or you can just go to my website, honoritcoaching.com, and you can book your free call. So I'm going to stop that share now. So I'm back. Yay. So I hope that today gave you some value, some information about things that might be toxic in your life that you did not even realize. But there's something you can do about it. I truly believe that God gave us all the things that we need to heal ourselves. And we just need to do the work. We need to be responsible. Don't rely on the doctor. Now, doctors are so important. And I will tell you too, I am not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice at all here. I am just trying to empower you to take care of yourself and to do the things that you need to do to live your best life. I do encourage people to get coaches. I believe everyone can benefit from having a coach and a mentor in their life. I have coaches, and I will always have them because I'm always learning, and I know I can learn from other people who've already been where I want to go. And so that's my little spiel about that. But I just wanted to thank you for being here. The homework that I have for you today is that I want you to think about the toxins in your life. And that list I said of the different toxins, toxic relationships, toxic food, toxic products, whatever it is, mindset. Really evaluate all those and let me know in the chat and in the comments what you're going to work on or what's one toxin that you're going to get out. We can't expect to go today and go, I'm getting everything out of my life today, because that's not realistic. But tiny steps, small hinges swing big doors. over time, it makes a huge difference when you just do little things at a time. So, so tomorrow is day 5, which is our last day, except it's really not, because we're going to have a bonus day of questions and answers. But tomorrow we're going to wrap it all up for the wellness workshop. We're going to talk about self-care, but we're also going to just wrap up the key takeaways from the week, give you tools and tips to incorporate today to start achieving your goals, and how to implement a plan and a strategy to get the results that last, and offer insight on how to accelerate your results fast. Because nothing is instant, but there are definitely different hacks that you can do to get where you want to go faster. So I want to thank you all for today. It's truly been my honor, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day.